I've always been fascinated by the study that I read several years ago about hospice workers. And what the study revealed is that people who were hospice workers and that were working with others that were on their deathbed reported back that people that were in that position didn't say they regretted the things in their life that they had done. What they regretted most were the things they hadn't done. They regretted most the things that they hadn't done. So what are you willing to do in 2022 and beyond to make sure that you take the risks that can make this year your best ever? Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. You know, if you're like me, I take this time of year toward the end of December to basically review my past year and set the vision and the stage for what I want to create in the upcoming year. In fact, wait till the very end of this video so I can share with you a program that I've developed to help you do just that. Now, when I go through this process, and when many people go through this process, it's filled with, being able to take a look at the victories we have in our life. But oftentimes what it does is it helps us, or it causes us to focus on the things that didn't go as well. And then when we make our plans from that place, we have that limitation because we are basically feeling like, oh my gosh, I got burned in the past on this. I made this error. I need to play it safe. But the question I have for you in 2022 and beyond is, what would you do in this upcoming year if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You know, one of the reasons I think that we hold ourselves back is because we have these experiences that bring us into fear, and then as a result, our creativity gets stifled. And it reminds me of a study that I read a long time ago called the NASA Longitudinal Study for Creative Potential. And so what they did is they took 1,600 subjects and they looked at them, and here's what they found, is that 98% of 4 and 5-year-olds, they rated out as creative geniuses. 98%. Then they tested that same group 5 years later, and that number had gone from 98% to 30%. 5 years after that, that group dipped down to 12%. And by the time that group hit adulthood, only 2% rated out as creative geniuses. That's a 96-point dip in terms of their ability to be creative. So what happened? Well, again, I think that oftentimes it's because of the fear that we have that causes us to hold back, and it doesn't allow us to step out of our comfort zones, to think freely. We basically put blinders on so that we're only looking at the world in the way that we've trained ourselves to see it. So with that being said, what can we do about it? What can you do? What can I do this year in 2022 to make sure that we are dreaming big and making this our best year ever? So that's what I want to share with you right now. 4 keys to dreaming big and taking action in 2022. So what's the first one? Well, number 1 is allow yourself to dream big. And when I say big, that's an acronym, B-I-N-G. So the first thing is be bold in your dreaming. Many times what we do is we don't allow ourselves to just sit back and imagine what we'd like to have happen. We have all these parameters around it. Well, I can do it if I had this much time, or this is what I've done in the past. Just allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to dream, because when you're able to connect your head and your heart, some amazing things can come forward. I stands for be imaginative in the steps you can take. What things can you do to step out of your regular comfort zone to make those dreams a reality? And then finally, focus on giving your gifts. Each one of us has this wonderful reservoir of gifts that we have inside of ourselves that when we unlock those and we have intentionality behind them, I believe the universe just kind of brings all opportunities in our way so that we continue to share those gifts. So that's number 1. Number 2 is surround yourself with big people. Now, I don't necessarily mean large in stature, although it could be, but I'm talking about people that are up to big things. People that are stretching themselves and are looking to make a positive impact in the world. I don't know about you, but for me, one of the ways I kind of look at this is I can be very I can very much take on people's accents when I'm with them. Like when I go home to Wisconsin to visit, after I'm there for about a week, I come back sounding like a character from the movie Fargo, right? And it's unconscious. It's just that way of speaking kind of like moves into my dialect. Well, the same thing happens with us when we're acting out in the world. And when we're surrounded with people that are up to big things, that are positive about life, that are really leaning into it, we have a tendency to do the same. So surround yourself with big people. Number three is be okay with making mistakes. Oh my gosh. There's all of us have been making mistakes since we were children, right? And imagine if the first time you tried to walk, you fell down, you said, I'm never going to do that again. Right? You'd still be sitting down or laying down. So the fact of the matter is that learn from your mistakes. They are there to help you be a stepping stone. Learn from them, move forward for them, and be okay with them. And then finally, the last one is this. In this next year, I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to challenge you to choose to do something that scares you. Choose to do something that scares you. Then once you've done it, choose another thing that scares you and do that as well. You see, the way that we grow, the way we expand is to get out of that comfort zone. And that oftentimes it's really nice to be sitting back because it feels safe, but it's not getting us where we want to go. And so where do you have an opportunity to step into it? They often say that courage isn't a lack of fear. It's having the fear and doing it anyway. So where do you have an opportunity to dream big this year, to surround yourself with big people, to be okay with making mistakes, and then finally do some things that scare you, and then rinse and repeat and do it again. So there you have it, my friends. There's my little take on how we can dream big, the 4 keys in 2022. And I told you at the beginning that I've got a special program that can help you do just that. It's called the 2022 Planning Power Package, Strategic Power Planning Package. And so what I've done is I've developed a program where you meet with me for a 90-minute Zoom call. And what we'll do is we'll review your past year and help you get super clear on your lessons learned and where you want to go in the next year. Then I'll help you put together not only an annual plan, but a specific 90-day plan to get you to a great launch point to make sure that this year turns out awesome. Now, to support you in that, I'm also going to offer you 3 45-minute coaching calls to keep you focused and moving forward. And for the first 5 people that enroll in this program, I'm also going to offer one of my online programs free. So just check out the link below. And if it's something that really speaks to you, I'd love to have you participate with me. So there you have it, my friends. I wish nothing more for you this year in 2022 and beyond to have an awesome, awesome year where you're able to break out of your comfort zone and be able to dream big and do big things for the upcoming year. So this has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.